So today I'll be covering how the contactless cards work, the standards involved, all the explanations of the security around them, the recent developments in the field, and future areas of research I'm interested in looking at. Okay, so to start off, how these cards actually work. So cards work on the principle of electromagnetic induction. Antennas are present at the terminal and the card, so you've got small copper wires. These work at 13.56 MHz in the cards I've been looking at. There's a small system on a chip that is embedded in the card. So this is one card that I've packaged using acetone. So here you see the metal contacts and the chip's general center here. So the chip contains a microprocessor, ROM, RAM, generally everything to run the card and store all the data and interact with the field. So these generally are in a small plastic card, like a credit card, or can be other form factors as well, depending on that area. So the standards involved in this area. So at the top you've got your 7810. What that is just your normal card size, so your regular credit card size. Now this is split out into two areas. You've got smart cards and contactless smart cards. So the contact cards generally are the ones that you have EMV. They use pins on your card. These are the ones you actually insert into the terminal, and they can, with memory or just process of memory, for example. On the other range, you've got your contactless cards. Now these come in the ISO standards. There's about 4 here. It depends on what frequency they use, what purposes they're being intended for. So for example, you've got your vicinity contact cards, which generally have a larger antenna and I believe have a battery involved. While the ones I've been looking at are the proximity IC cards. So these are the most common ones today. These are powered from the field. They offer pretty cheap. They're the most common standard. There's dual interface cards nowadays as well. What these are normally a processor card or EMB chip card with a front end for the proximity IC cards. So this is all your NFC RFID. So the standard is 1443. What this covers is 4 parts. You've got physical characteristics. This is just the size of the card, size of the antenna, those places. You've got your radio frequency and power and the signal interface. What this gives you is how the modulation of the interface of the card, how the data is transmitted using frequency. Part 3 is the initialization and anti-collision. This is where the card's initializing, figuring out what type of terminal, what type of card, and anti-collision is determining if there's more than one card in the reader or any errors initially. And part 4 is the protocol. So this is how the cards work out, how to talk to each other, what kind of bit encoding, what kind of rates they can use for encoding data. So there's 2 types of cards in the standard. So there's a type A and a type B card. So communications to the terminal in type A use modulation, encoding and synchronization, different from the type B card. This, I believe, is because it was 2 different manufacturers and the standards were being set up. So they split it into 2 separate sections. However, they use the same carrier frequency, same kind of antenna characteristics. The differences are usually in the modulation or the encoding method. And the terminal card terminal communications differ as well. Now, here you've got a modulation of solenoid rotation of 12 Hz. So the idea is that the terminal is sending a signal to the card, it keeps it powered, and sending data to the card. The card responds by modulating carrier signal by frequency divided. So this is the 30.56 MHz divided by 16 initially, and then after all the communications have been set up, you can make the data rates higher or quick meaning sender. Okay, so type A cards. Type A cards use what's called a modified Miller encoding from terminal to the card. So this is an example of a transmission from the terminal to the card, type A card. In this case, you're using what's called amplitude shift key. And so it's 100%, that means it's on. So the actual field is turning off for these small intervals. Now these intervals are small enough so that the card will always be powered when in the field. So it never loses power, however, it makes it easier to. The bit sequences used is a modified Miller encoding. So with the modified Miller encoding, what that means is you've got 3 sequences with the terminal to the card communications. So this is sequence X, so that denotes a 1. So you've got what is a high and low. You've got a sequence Y, which is normally is a logical 0, so that's always high. And then you've got sequence Z, which is a local high. Sequence Z is used for starting up communications, as well as if you've got a chain of Ys and you're not sure whether it dropped out or not. So if you, for example, want to encode a 0 then another 0, you use a Y, then a Z, and you keep using Zs afterwards to make it sensitive. So from the card terminal, we've got a different scheme. So what this is using is you've got carrier frequency here, and then you've got modulated using amplitude shift key in the frequency. So here you've got the sub-carrier frequency. This is the 847 kHz signal, and then you've got your carrier frequency, which is your 13.56 MHz. Now you've got 3 sequences in this to communicate. So this uses what's called an air-gesture type encoding. So a logical 1 is a high and low, logical 0s are low and high, and then you've got sequence F, which I think is the low and low. These are combined to full bits in your transmissions. So we've got type B cards. Now type B cards use different modulation, so that you've got the terminal to your card. This uses a simpler type of encoding. Simply it's non-return to 0. So you've got high and low, pretty simple encoding without having to differentiate. The idea with this is you've got is the 90% signal here, so it's a logical 0. Then you've got a logical 1 where it's 100% signal, so your amplitude shifts. And carrier is always present in the field. Now for card-to-terminal communications, this is a little bit more involved with the type B standard, however it's still terminals. Same encoding, so you just got lower lines again. Instead, it's actually a binary phase shift key modulation. What this means is you've got a logical 1. So this is equivalent to a sine wave of 0 for its phase. To simplify a logical 0, you shift the phase by 180 degrees in the terminal field. So the receiving terminal will demodulate, work out what the phase of the signal sub-carrier signal is, and work out the development of 0, and we're good. Okay, so on to anti-collision. Okay, so what is anti-collision? Anti-collision is where you've got 2 or more cards in the field. This means that you've got a unique ID on a card, and the terminal can't figure out which card is supposed to actually read or write to. For type A cards, anti-collision is solved by using the unique ID of a card. What occurs is it works out what bit the anti-collision is occurring on, and then forms an anti-collision loop to work out, okay, if you've got bit 4 colliding, it'll pick the higher of that bit, and then work its way out to a unique ID that it can address on the cards. So this goes through an anti-collision loop and figures out if it's the highest unique ID, it'll pick first, and then it works its way out. So the terminal has to work this out. Now, on the other side, type B cards, however, use a time division process. So the terminal is sent out of command with a slot number, which I think is a random slot number between 1 and 32. The terminal will, the card will then pick one of the slot numbers and come back and respond to it. And the terminal decides whether to actually communicate with the card. So this slows the chance of a collision. If it does occur, I believe it goes to another anti-collision loop that reselects a slot, so it works itself out. So the differences are that the type A card, you're using a loop where you're figuring out what the errors are, and for type B cards are trying to do it randomly in time to work out which card to communicate with. Now, payment cards, this doesn't really matter. The terminals in the payment world are instructed to, if there's a collision with a card, it will just instruct you to remove a card from the field. So this gives a nice part of the time required to set up the payment. So you don't have to figure out if there's two cards in the field, you just tell the customer to remove a card and you're good. So let's get this for the payment. Okay, so E and B is contactless. So E and B is your chip and PIN cards, your ISO cards that you insert into a terminal. Now for these, you've got your contacts here, so you've got your BCC, IO, PIN, all those are traditional areas. Now with our contactless, you actually take the same standards. So you've got a standard, you've got the EMB standard sets how the financial transaction messages are used with the card. So this gives you the advantage of being able to use one of these cards in another country, in another bank's terminal. They standardise all the commands, what's stored on the cards, how you interact with them. In the contactless payment field, the best thing about this is that these commands are the same for contactless and contact cards. So you get the same encoding, which is a basic custodial tag, length, and value. You get the same commands and functions. It's pretty easy to interact with the same software stack as your older EMB stuff. So what's actually on a payment card and the contactless field? So to skip back, we have to explain what a track 1 is. So track 1 is on your MagStripe cards. This is the traditional way of having payment information on a card. Your track 1 generally holds your PAN, your personal account number, your name, your expiry date, all those areas there. So in the financial world, we've started off with the MagStripe cards and having the set encoding on track 1 and track 2 here. Now in EMB, or your chip and PIN, and your contactless cards in financial areas, you also have track 1 as well. It is the lowest common denominator for how you actually perform a transaction. So you've got format code. This indicates that it's a banking card, I believe. There's different formats as well for video cards. There's a whole set of them. You've got your personal account number here, so that matches up with what you'd have printed on the card. You've got your name as well in your track data. You've got an expiry date, of course. You've got the service code. So the service code in this example is an international card. You're normally authorising it and you're normally verifying it. You can change the service codes can change depending on what kind of card. So for example, instead of an international, it can be set to a local card, so you can only use it inside of the country. Now, you've got discretionary data as well, and then you've got advanced control and LIC. You've also got a track 2 as well on a MagStripe card. So what this gives us is we've got a same kind of information. All we do is get rid of your same kind of same name, same expiry date, same service code. Discretionary data might change as well. And then so most important bit for the talk at the moment is the discretionary data. Now discretionary data is an optional field for storage of the issuer data. So what this gives us is all the stuff that the issuer wants to put on a card but can't really fit inside of those fields that are mandatory. What this gives us is you get a PIN verification value. So you've got your PIN verification PIN index, you've got a PIN verification value, you've also got card verification values as well. So that a card verification value verifies what the track data is on the card. So these have all been known fairly well for the last 20 or 30 years now, and used fairly successfully. You've also got keys on a payment card as well. So this is some typical keys that are stored on cards. So in this example, you've got these are all triple des keys normally in the financial world. This is, say, a duration key CBC3. You've got a Cryptogram master key, and then the Cryptogram master key creates a session application Cryptogram key. You've got asymmetric keys. So these are used for generating and verifying signatures for the terminal to the card and also the acquirer to the card. So card verification values. So card verification value is used to verify track data on the card. There's a number of names for them that generally all do the same thing, which is verify some kind of information on the card. So the most traditional one is the CVV. Now the CVV is present in the discretionary data of the card. So this ensures that your name hasn't been changed, the PAN hasn't been changed. You can't change the track data because you need to change it to a correct CVV value. So this is all great, except it's located with that track data of the card. It's a fixed value, so this allows people to skim your card and copy it onto a blank card and use it without anyone finding out that you've actually copied the card. So that's the traditional problem with the CVV value. You've got CVV2. So your CVV2 is the number that's printed on the card. These are used for a card not present transaction. These are your internet, your phone transactions where you need, the person on the other end needs to verify that you hold the card. These are printed physically on the card, not in the track data, so you can't skim it using a reader. However, you still get the same problem that it's a fixed value and it's printed on the card. It's easy to copy. So we need a solution for these problems. So this is where you come to the CVC3. So a contactless card and a chip card has what's called dynamic CVC3. It's a dynamic value that's generated for each transaction. So the CVC that's produced is similar to what a traditional CVV is. However, it's dynamically produced each transaction to prevent someone cloning a card. It allows a contactless card to be used in your magstripe environment. So you can insert your card into a terminal. It will default to a magstrip profile so that the terminal will just get the information, the track information. It will then request the card to do a CVC3. CVC3 will be added to the track information and you can go ahead and do a transaction. However, this can be set to a static value by an issuer. So if you are an issuer, it's best not to set it to a static value because you go back to the problems of CVV and the cloning of cards. So how do you actually calculate a CVC? So you concatenate what is the initial value for CVC3. So this is off the card. You take an unpredictable number. So I think this is sent from the terminal off the top of my head. And then from the card, you've got what's called the application transaction counter. This is a unique counter on the card to say how many transactions have occurred on the card. I think most cards have a fixed number of value. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it's in the many thousands. This prevents a replay of the CVC3. You encrypt it using your symmetric CVC3 key using triple des. And then you grab the two lowest significant bytes of it, and that gives you a CVC3. that CBC3 is then joined with the discretionary data, the track data, and sent off to the acquirer, the bank, at the other end to the transaction. So how do the cards communicate after all these steps are performed? So this is how it initially, after anti-collision, we've got one card in the field, in the terminal field, how to communicate with it. So here we've got a terminal and a contactless card. So initially the terminal will send out a select command. So what this select command is doing is selecting the payment system environment. The payment system environment is normally a string depending on who the acquirer, who the issuing bank, I believe it is. It's a fixed string just saying to the card, please send me that, please select this payment system. We get back the payment directory, so this is a simple little list of options on there. So then the terminal knows, okay, we'll select the payment systems environment, and what to do, we then want to select the application identifier. So this is located in the payment directory. So it's telling the card what files we want to, what application we're going to use on the card and what we want from it. This sends back the file control information data. This gives us the application label, application priority indicator, all that kind of stuff. So what this allows us to do is this sends us back more information on the card to set up the transaction. We then send back a get processing options using processing data options list. Most cards I've looked at don't actually have any information in this list, but this allows you to add issuer discretionary data stuff to the card so it can process it. And then finally, for the initial transaction, we then get the application priority indicator and the application file locator. What these indicate is what the card supports. So this is giving the file locator, this gives us a number of records and whether they store keys or not. This section tells us whether you're able to do what's called static data authentication or dynamic data authentication of the card. So static data authentication, what is it? Static data authentication is where we're authenticating data on the card. So this can include track data, it also includes currency codes, it includes a whole heap of stuff on the card that the issuer wants checked for a transaction. This stuff comes from the chip and pin world, so you're in these standards, so they kind of come back into contactless as well. So here on the issuer side, you've got a private key pair. You've got an issuer private and an issuer public key. You've got a certificate authority on the inside that contains a public and a private key. So what happens is the issuer sends the public key to the certificate authority. Certificate authority is usually someone higher up in the chain, which then signs the public key to form the issuer public key certificate. Now we've got a public key certificate, we then send it back to the issuer. So they've now got a signed certificate of their own card. Next up, we've got what's called static data, application data. So all this stuff is done in what's called the personalization stage. We're initially writing the card values, card names, all those codes onto the card. So all this data is formed into what's called the static application data. So that is then signed using the private key from the issuer, which gives us the signed static application data. Now all this is now placed onto the card. So you've got a static signed application data, so great, and you've got your public key certificate on the card. Now the certificate authority also provides the acquirer, so whoever's got the terminal, to load on the public certificate authority key onto your terminal. So all the terminals in the field will have a list of these keys to be able to communicate with different cards that have been issued. So you get a list of certificate keys. So we're taking information off an SDAD card. So here we now perform a read record where we're indicating we want short file indicator 2, record 1. What this gives us is the application data, so track 2. Our data elements, then we want 3.1. This will give us the issuer public key. And then if we go SFI3 record 2, we then get back assigned static application data from the card. So this is a fixed value, doesn't change once it's written to the card. So what this gives us is the ability to verify that it's the correct card. Has its issues in that it's a static value, it isn't recalculated for each transaction. So to solve this, now we've got dynamic data authentication. So dynamic, so we're actually changing. Here we've added on, instead of having, so we've added on 2 keys now that the issuer creates for each card. We've got an ICC public and private key there. Now these keys, we also take the same static application data here, so we've got the same plain stuff. We might add on some more depending. Here we form all of this into an ICC public key certificate. So here we see that we've got the public key ICC. There's the private key issuer which signs all of this with the static application data to form this certificate. And then this certificate is loaded onto the card. You have your private and public keys on the card, and then you've also got your issuer public key certificate as before. So we're good. Okay. So we did the same read record command here to get the information off the card as the static. So we're getting the same kind of data here. So we've got our public key here, but here we skipped over the short file indicator 4, record 1, which gives us our public key data elements for the ICC card. So this is also in contactless. So we get some more data. Now at this stage, we've got our public key, we've got the issuer stuff. What we're now doing is we're sending what's called a generate application cryptogram. So this is coming into the combined data, dynamic data authentication and application cryptogram generation process. So what an application cryptogram is it's taking a set number of known values to the card, a counter, all that kind of stuff, some stuff off the terminal, it encrypts it with a key to form an application cryptogram. At the same time, the dynamic data as well is signed by the card using its ICC private key. This all is bundled up and sent back to the terminal. Application cryptogram back. What this gives us is the signature on the signed data. Sorry, the static data signed by the ICC private key. So it's static data and with application cryptogram signed by the private key, the ICC, which is then checked by the terminal. And this allows us to do an offline transaction and be sure that we've actually got the correct card. So an application cryptogram, there's split into 3 parts. So you've got 3 types of application cryptogram. You've got what's called the application authentication cryptogram. This means that a transaction is being declined. So when this occurs, the terminal or the card has said, no, I don't want to do the transaction. In this case, we don't actually do anything cryptographic with it. All we do is send back the cryptogram information data and an application transaction counter, but we don't do any cryptographic things. The transaction's not occurring. Now we've got the authorization request cryptogram. So when this occurs, this means that a terminal or a card has requested to go online to do a transaction. So this means that the terminal has to contact with the acquirer or the bank, and they have to verify the transaction over in the HSM. And the third case, which is the one we're interested in, is the transaction certificate. So this means the transaction has been approved. This means that the card can do an offline transaction. So it will perform it without having to go ring back home, figure out whether it's correct. So how do we actually generate the application cryptogram? We generate a session key, we then concatenate the cryptographic data objects list and some ICC data. So we combine that all together. We perform a cipher blockchain message authentication code encryption on the data, so we chain it all together with the session application cryptogram key, and that forms our application cryptogram. So this is the process just then. So this is the data we set. So here we've got what is set from the terminal, and this is what comes from the card. This is all combined in and encrypted to form encrypted there. So that's got your application cryptogram. You've also got your transaction data. So this is your this is the static data that's signed. So here from the terminal, you get your processing data objects list and your cryptographic data objects list. You get a card ID, you get an application transaction counter, and you hash that with SHA-1. This is all formed in the card to form what's called the ICC dynamic data. So what this gives us, what we added is header fields on here, and then we've got these two values here. We then put this into the dynamic application data, where we've got these fields here. It tells you what hash we're using, what language we've added. We added there's the application number. Then we sign the whole thing with the ICC private key, and this is what's returned with your generate application cryptogram. So this gives us a bit more security because we're using values from the card and the terminal. They're dynamically generated. The only problem with this is it does take a little bit more time than your basic way of doing it, but it's a lot more skill. Okay, so now going to recent developments in the field. So over the last 2-3 years, the NFC field has started to widen on the field. There's been a lot, prices have come down, the number of terminals, and a lot more people looking into it. So the most recent one would have been the addition of phones onto this area. So the Android phones now, a lot of them actually have near-field readers built into them. So the new Google one has it. So they're intending for these to be used on payment devices. So in 2.3.3, you'll see there's a whole list of code in there that allows you to emulate. So we'll put in 43A and B card, LECA, which is the Japanese standard, or PROX. So that's the key card where you actually go and enter building. So the stack on Android actually allows you to emulate these cards. So you can create your own cards, use them in the field. I believe it acts as a reader and a card. However, how does this work with payments? So we're worried with payments about protecting the keys, protecting your account data, and a lot of these phones are now saying, oh, we're actually able to use them in payments. How do you solve that system? What happens is you have now a secure element. The secure element is, in all likelihood, it's just a separate contactless card in the device. So you've got a separate chip, it hooks up to the antenna internal, and then that, if it is in the payment field, it will start communicating with the terminal, as opposed to the Android software stack, which will not be in that area. So it just functions like a second means that you separate the keys, means you separate the application data. It acts as like a separate card that's been embedded in here. Okay, so now I'll do a demonstration. So because it's a 13.56 MHz signal, it's a radio wave, everyone assumes that it's secure, so that, oh, you can't read it, you can only read the card if you're up close, actually trying to, you have to have a terminal within 10 centimeters. So for this example, I've got so this is just basic wideband receiver. So I've tuned it to 13.56 MHz, everything is scales up like this. So that's, at the moment, that is. Okay, so at the moment this is, at the moment the terminal is plugged in, and that's the actual signal coming from the terminal. So you're hearing a clanking signal trying to look for a card in the field. So if I place the card into the field, it stops. Simply. Pretty easy. Okay, so what happens when I try and read the card? You can get something like that. Okay, so what does this actually indicate? So I'm close up to the card at the moment, or if I have my assistant here to be able to open it across here and do the same thing. What this says is that you can pick up the terminal stuff. You can pick up terminal communications from a fair distance away. So this is just taken off the audio port of the wideband receiver. So this would be what's called the request tag, and then that's the answer from the terminal. This is just using a basic little whip antenna and a little cord wideband receiver, and you can pick them up 5-10 meters away, depending if you're a line of sight. So it doesn't matter because of all these transaction things that occur. So you've got your signed data, you've got your dynamic data authentication, you've got your application cryptogram, and you've also got the CVC3. So if someone is listening over on a financial transaction, they can't replay that information back to steal your information. Additionally, the track data that is read off the card, you would be able to pick up on here. However, in the contactless area, they don't actually put your name in that field. I believe it's all just zeros. That's what I've found from testing the cards. The track data returns no name. However, it just gives you the account number and the regular track data. So, emissions power analysis. So this is more future stuff we're looking at doing with the laboratories. So what occurs with the emissions power analysis is using statistical traces. So you're looking at the power consumption of the card when it's performing a cryptographic operation. Most recently, this was used with the MyPay card. So that was the paper that went through that area. That was found to be pretty good. So, for example, the Victorian ID cards. Now, in the case of payment cards, the cards are actually tested under the common criteria EMV standards, so that each card when produced has to be tested against emissions. This means that combined with the fact that the session key for the dynamic data authentication, so you can't figure out what the other key is, assists in the slide channel. Now, I'm hoping in the future to start using software-defined radios in this field. So this is just a basic wideband receiver. It's set up for audio, so unfortunately our bandwidth of it doesn't really help out. Now, the software-defined radio stuff will probably make it a lot easier. We'll be able to demodulate it, and also, depending on the size of the antenna, since it's a pretty strong signal, you probably can get it from a fair distance away. Now, EMV is also a common criteria of testing, so you've got a protection profile around your side channel. Okay, so protecting your card. Now this is for people in, so a lot of time in the media, I've heard a lot of issues where people are worried, how do you protect your card? So what happens if someone comes up with a reader, sticks it, puts it in your pocket, sniffs the data, and goes, great, I've got the track data, I've got all the other information from it, possibly. So people have thought, oh look, we'll build a shield for it and we'll charge a lot of money for it. However, you can generally build your own shield using alfoil. So with alfoil, it'll just, what occurs is you just wrap it in a piece of alfoil if you're worried about this in your wallet. This means that it detunes the antenna internally of the card so that the reader can't communicate with it. Simply, you don't have to buy an expensive metal shield, you can wrap your passport with this if you want to. So to wrap up, so hopefully covered the basics. Generally, I've had to rush through it a bit quicker. Usually, it's a fairly complicated area, but it's based on a lot of traditional standards in the financial area. So it works off. So you've got a lot of papers. You've got a lot of technical documents available in the field. Now, the security of authorization always depends on the implementation. So in there's 6 example forms. Now this is off a hotel card for entry into your room. Now, I'd be concerned with using this as an entry key because with this card, it's basically what's called a MyFair Ultralight. All it is a memory card. This means that when you hook it up to the reader and you start reading stuff out, you're not encrypting any information over it. All the stuff between the card and the reader is also being transmitted on the radio frequency, which you can more likely demodulate. And you can clone a card like this fairly easily since it's just a simple rewrite. So in a lot of time you need to look at the implementation, make sure that you're using correct key management, using keys, and that you consider that all the data between the card and the terminal is able to be picked up over a longer distance than most people realise. Now most financial systems are built off the existing standards, so that they're field tested, they're looking into a lot of stuff generally. Our company does a lot of this kind of testing as well, so in my work I usually doing evaluations on POS machines, ATMs, those areas. So we do a lot of emissions testing on those terminals and how they react to this kind of information. Now the technology as well, the latest phones, the Android ones, I think the ones that look at most correctly are in building these NFC devices. These allow you to create virtual cards as well. So you're starting to see a lot more development in terms of loyalty cards and things built into phone. So what this means as well is that someone can come along and actually build their own card or emulate something like this hotel card key and use it in that field. So you need to take that into account if you're doing the work, and that the communications can be sent. Good. Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
Alright, thank you, Peter. We have a bit of time for a few questions. Does anyone have a question for us to ask going up there? Yeah. Hang on, this is the talking stick. You don't ask a question about the talking stick, mate.
Hi, Peter. I didn't quite follow the protocol that's happened there. Was there something that allowed the card to validate that the terminal was from a proper acquirer, or could people grab false terminals and do things like increase the transaction count in the card?
Correct, yes, they can. There is nothing on the card that validates the terminal. All the transaction, all of it is focused around validating the card. So most you can create a terminal. So for example, with this basic little reader, I can max out a transaction count if you needed to.
Right. Second question was you spoke about static and dynamic authentication. What's being used in the payment industry currently? Are Australian banks all using dynamic, or does it depend on the card? Or?
I believe in the payment industry at the moment, all of the Australian ones are actually all online. So it's not actually, doesn't really matter when you're actually doing a transaction online, since it's still sending all the data off to get verified at the end. Cards I've seen issued use either. So I've got one that uses a static static data authentication. While I know other banks have been issuing ones with dynamic data authentication. My understanding is all the banks in Australia are using online, so you can't do an offline transaction as it is. Overseas, I'm not sure, but so they kind of defeats it in Australia.
Just a quick question. Just on the physical layer, you mentioned that you use Manchester encoding and Miller encoding. What sort of bandwidths and baud rates are on that physical interface? Is it something that you have to configure, for example?
Top of my head, yeah, I think so. I'm not sure exactly with the. I would believe it should be able to. The carrier frequency is 13.56 megahertz. It initializes itself at 847 kilometres, so divided by 16. Now the there you go. So this is your bit rate stuff. So here, it depends on the device. So this is your sub carrier at 847. So after all the initialization occurs, most cards I've seen will communicate at the lower one, the 106 kilobits, and it doubles. For financial stuff, the lowest is enough. It just depends on the implementation.
Just one off, we've got our RGB radio in here, so if you want to sit down there and
I would love to
see everything snippet.
Yeah, good.
Excellent. We still have time for a couple of questions. If there are any more hands going up in the room, we've done again. How the talk speak?
You mentioned when the acquirers they get loaded the CA sets.
Yeah.
What are you currently CAs they put on there? Is it all the majors? Because you don't have a internet.
We can understand it. There's so testing of the terminals, which is what our company does. A lot of it is over the CA sites and how they're done right now. It's not similar to what the area in your internet browser is. It's not as simple as just loading up stuff. You normally have to enter a password. You have to have authorized access to load these keys. Now, normally it's about 13 off the top of my head. It just depends on how many the person putting the terminal out, so the end bank, how many they want to support. Usually it's a major one, so it'll be a MasterCard, a Visa, or something, so it's normally the major card brands that'll have individual certs, and they've got a number of certificates in there.
Good question. We have time for one more. Neil, we don't have any questions about this, mate? You look like you do. You need coffee. Does everyone else need a coffee? Yeah.